Share Beirut presents Sami bin Gharbia, Nawaat.
Merci. Good morning, everyone. It's hard to wake up. Wait. I couldn't find my presentation, I think. Where is, you know? I gave the USB to what is the organizer? The girl who is supposed to put it here. Yeah.
You can start talking. Is it this?
Yeah, that one. No, the blue one.
Okay, you can start talking.
However. Sorry. Yeah, that one.
Wait.
You should put it here. You should put it there. Can they switch it or? So, again, good morning. My name is Sami bin Gharbia. I'm from Tunisia. I'm the co-founder of Nawaat and founding director of Global Voices Advocacy. I will tell you a little story of Nawaat and a new concept, which is maybe new, I don't know. Maybe someone coined it already. Media activism. It's not activism, it's not media, it's a mixture of a platform or a medium or a core of activists that are doing information and at the same time using the information to foster and strengthen the democratic transition in Tunisia. We all know that Ben Ali fled the country in January 14th to Saudi Arabia, where he took refuge. But we know that the pillars of the power of Ben Ali, they didn't collapse. They're still there, they're still acting, and sometimes they are the most strongest part of the new Tunisia, the post-revolutionary Tunisia. If we take the army, if we take the police, if we take the obedience of the citizens, if we take the former ruling party, the RCD, if we take the bourgeoisie maybe, all those pillars are still there. There are new dynamics. There are new pillars, like religious pillars, which is now getting stronger in Tunisia, Salafist, brotherhood, the leftist pillar, the media pillar, which is polarized between opposition and governmental supporter. So I think for every transition, for every transition period, post-revolutionary period, you need to first to identify and then deconstruct each pillar of the system, because Ben Ali went, but the system is still there, and the system needs to be changed and collapsed, hopefully. Nawaat was launched in 2004 as a dissident website, an opposition website from the diaspora. We were mainly working to change the political system in Tunisia and to topple the President Ben Ali. But after the revolution, how a citizen media website, a collective blog that is mainly working and fighting for human rights in Tunisia can adopt itself to the new context where freedom of expression is guaranteed, where there is freedom to move, freedom to organize events, and freedom to start new startups, new initiatives in Tunisia. How a citizen and an opposition websites and group can change into democratic force within the country. So I'm going to talk to you about the new experience of Nawaat, which evolved from a simple and collective blog that is existing only online with few activists on the ground in Tunisia into an NGO in Tunisia that is working through maybe four main angles. The first one is a hackerspace. We launched the first hackerspace in Tunisia where we try to gather all geeks and techies and tech-savvy people to try to build a new platform that are needed for the transition or that are needed simply by the citizens in Tunisia. The second angle, which is the training, we still believe that the information and that the media scene in Tunisia is centralized in Tunis, the capital. The places, the region, the remote area where the revolution started and sparked are still kind of marginalized from the media scene in Tunisia. There are amazing initiatives in Qasrin, in Sidi Bouzid, in Makthar, and elsewhere, but I still believe that they are not reaching a broader audience. They are not reaching the main audience of the Tunisian people. They are still very local, sometimes hyper-local in their closest community. So we launched an initiative that aims to train citizen journalists in those remote areas and try to help them build blogs, connect them to social media websites, how to shoot a video, how to edit a video, and how to give voice to the voiceless people in those regions. The third angle, and this is the most important and part of Nawaat, this is the spirit of Nawaat, and that's why I was talking about media activism, because we are activists, we are not journalists. We don't see ourselves as journalists. We want to become journalists. We are activists, we are advocates for freedom of expression, although we are spreading information, we are doing investigative journalism. I will go through that angle. So the advocacy in Tunisia, you got many cases, and our strategy is to target the pillars. We want to target the army, we want to target the police, we want a transparent constituent assembly of the parliament, we want transparent media. So our work is sometimes to go into hunger strike, to gather activists, grassroots activists against the army, because the army stopped one of our guys from filming a court of those who are accused or allegedly accused to be those who killed Tunisian protesters during the revolution. So they arrested our guy and they confiscated his camera. So the blogger and other fellow bloggers, they went into hunger strike. And in the first time of the history of Tunisia, at least the post-revolution era in Tunisia, we pushed the army to go public and to go into television show and to respond to the accusation that we were spreading online. We gathered a group of injured of the revolution, because there is nothing that is being done seriously to solve the problem of those who got injured in Tunisia during the revolution. And we gathered a group of injured people in our office, and they started a hunger strike, and we pushed the Constituent Assembly and all the parties to agree on solving this problem. And there is a section within the Ministry of Human Rights in Tunisia that is addressing the issue of the injured in Tunisia. So this is kind of the advocacy. Every time there is someone arrested, every time there is a blogger who is being harassed, every time that there is a journalist or a normal citizen that is facing police abuse, we are there to cover the news and to broadcast information that sometimes need a kind of leaks. Nawaat is worked a lot with WikiLeaks. We were the partner of WikiLeaks 2 weeks before the revolution in Tunisia. In November 28th, we published a bunch of cables that were coming from the US Embassy in Tunisia. And we put that on a website called TuniLeaks, very hard to block website, because we, as Tunisian activists and all Tunisian anti-censorship activists, grown up in a country, one of the most repressive country online, and we knew how to bypass censorship, how to use circumvention technology, and how to reach the audience despite of the censorship. So we are kind of specialized in leaking documents from within the military, from within the police, from within the parliament. We have a collaboration with Amira Yahyawi, who gave a talk yesterday, who is doing a great job within the Constituent Assembly and leaking documents that are not supposed to reach the public. So one of our job is to provide information that need to be researched, analyzed, and then debated within the Tunisian public sphere. And as I said, the army, unlike Egypt, which is one of the strongest pillars of the Egyptian regime, the army in Tunisia, at least during the revolution, they managed to stay away. They managed to make themselves not a strong target like the police or like the former ruling party. So the army stood like in the side of the revolution, but there is a lot of theory in Tunisia, they still believe that the army was involved in killing many protesters in the country, and we still believe that the army is one of the pillars that are doing a lot of work behind the scene. So what we do is to publish documents, publish leak, write articles, give opinion to people, to criticize the army, and at least make the army transparent as any other section in the Tunisian Republic. I mean, why the police should be accountable and why not the army should be accountable. And as I said, the police, I mean, we were leaking documents, we were doing investigative work, we were shooting video, recording interviews with victims of police abuse or families whose son or daughter had been killed due to torture cases that are happening till now in Tunisia post-revolution. The parliament, as I said, Amira Yahyawi is doing a great job in monitoring the parliament, and she gave a talk yesterday detailing her work, and we are trying to cover those stories and to write pieces based on her founding and based on our investigative work. And we are also trying to make the pieces written in 3 languages. So Nawaat is basically a website that provides information in Arabic, English, and French, and we do our best to translate our main content into other languages so we can reach a broader audience. The justice system in Tunisia is one of the main causes and one of the main pillars of the Ben Ali regime. The justice system is not reformed yet. There are promises that the new Ministry of Justice will reform the judiciary corps, but we didn't see any serious initiative to reform that. And our work is to be very radical in criticizing what is going on within the establishments of the justice system. We are giving voices to the syndicate of judges. We are leaking documents from within the syndicate of judges and writing piece about the situation there. Net freedom. As you know, there is no censorship in Tunisia. From a country that was very, very, very repressive online, blocking all video sharing websites, photo sharing websites like Flickr, many profile pages on Twitter and Facebook, all dissident websites and blogs were blocked in Tunisia, to a country that is not blocking anything. I mean, in Tunisia, there is no blocking of pornography, there is no blocking of pedophilia, there is no blocking of anything. And there was an attempt by 3 lawyers to push the Tunisian Internet Agency to block pornographic websites. And we found out that we need to stand with the Tunisian Internet Agency, which was labeled as Ammar 404. That's the nickname that we gave to the censorship body in Tunisia. But the Tunisian Internet Agency took a very good stand, and they refused to implement the ban that the court ordered the agency to ban all pornographic websites. And we are working to find a solution that the censorship, we believe that pedophilia is a problem online, that pornography for some people is a problem, for other people is not a problem. We still believe that people are free to access pornographic websites, but you are free as well to choose whether you have an internet connection from your provider with pornography or without pornography. So we are working with the Tunisian Internet Agency and with others within the government, within the parliament and political parties, at least to come up with a compromise that there should be no censorship, like no, how you call it, like a full censorship of pornographic websites. You need to provide a list, and based on the list, based on specific URLs, the court will order the Tunisian Internet Agency or the providers of the internet to block those websites, specific websites, because we know in Saudi Arabia, in Iran, in many other countries, simply if you search for sex, you get blocked website. Although you are looking for medical researches or academic researches about, I don't know, breast cancer or anything else. So there is a threat that censorship will come back, but the comeback won't have a political like color. First, it will have a religious and moral color, and this what we are witnessing in Tunisia right now towards artists, towards theater, towards cinema. Other thing is free speech in general. I mean, in Tunisia, there is a case in which two authors published some literature criticizing or even insulting the Prophet and Islam, etc. One of them got jailed for, got sentenced for 7 years, and another managed to flee the country. There is a group of advocates, of grassroots activists who are trying to defend them and advocate for their case based on the universal value of freedom of expression. The art, I think you all knew about what happened in Tunisia in one of the galleries that was, I mean, displaying some art piece which have some religious tent or criticism of the religious phenomenon in Tunisia, and that gallery was attacked by allegedly Salafists or by people who felt insulted by those pieces of art. And we are working with those people, interviewing them, trying to raise awareness about the importance of freedom of expression and freedom of art in a country where freedom was the main battle, that we fought for it for decades, and now there is a threat, religious and moral threats against artists, etc. And as I said, religion is the main actor that emerged from the revolution in Libya, in Egypt, in Tunisia, in Syria as well, in Yemen. There is a kind of new phenomenon that the Muslim Brotherhood and the Salafi movement is getting vocal, is getting influential, which is healthy. I still believe that the reform, democratic reform in the Muslim country and Arab country needs to go through a religious and Islamist reform. The problem is that facing Salafists, there is not much room to debate reform, even to debate Sufism, to debate mysticism, to debate Shiaism, or to debate Mu'tazilism. It's still very tough work to do, and there is a lot of work that needs to be done by intellectuals to at least vulgarize the concept that Muslim society needs kind of reformism within the lecture of the religious text. And this is what we are facing in Tunisia. There is a lot of Islamic groups that have kind of different references, those who are going back to the Wahhabi or Ibn Taymiyyah school, those who are going to the Brotherhood school, those who are going to the Mu'tazilite school, etc., more rational. And it is a healthy debate, but sometimes it gets very, very violent and threatening. Gender issue in Tunisia. Tunisia, compared to other Arab countries, is one of the most progressive when it comes to law towards women, but there is a threat that the situation that the women enjoyed in Tunisia could be threatened by this religious lecture that some wants to import from other parts of the Arab world. Taboos, sexual problems, homosexuality in Tunisia, smoking hash and weed in Tunisia, all those taboos that we couldn't discuss, we couldn't debate under the Ben Ali regime because there was no freedom of expression, there wasn't a room to debate such taboo. Now there is space, although there is a threat from the religious group to stop this debate, but there is a very thrilling and very active civil society which is standing against those conservative threats. And opinion. Nawaat is well known of its collective space in which bloggers and normal citizens, academicians, journalists, researchers can broadcast the news and debate opinion with the broader audience. So this is a brief description of the work that we are doing after the revolution. Thank you.